Hello and welcome to a live recording of Pat Baer's Anime Club over at twitch.tv/PatBaer. If you're watching this later on YouTube, youtube.com/PatBaer. This is an ongoing video series where I talk about anime, and usually at the end of a season, I've occasionally missed it, but just about every time we get towards the end of an anime season of shows, I do a wrap-up and I do a preview of the next season. So maybe I'll be able to talk about a few things that you missed this season that you want to check out, you want to go and marathon later, or I'll give you a few things to look forward to, or maybe a few things to stay clear of. As always, I have opinions on things, and you can always, if you're watching this live, throw your thoughts into chat, or if you're watching this later on YouTube, you can put it in the comments, in the YouTube comments. I read every comment. Let me know, either stuff that you really loved last season or stuff you're looking forward to with the next season. I always look, because sometimes people will be like, oh, were you watching this? And I'll be like, I didn't know what that was. And yes, now I am. Particularly great in the winter 2022, which I did not love this season. There was a lot of okay stuff and a lot of stuff I dropped. So we'll talk through it. We are using anychart.net for this. I just have it set up to be in alphabetical order with English names of shows where available. So we're going to go through these right now, and we are going to get started with Akube's Sailor Uniform, which I dropped very quickly. I needed there to be more to this, and maybe there was, and I didn't give it the chance it should have. But the 2 episodes I did watch of this, I was just like, yeah, okay. I mean, this girl really wants to wear a uniform, and that doesn't really happen. And oh, okay, yeah, it's not going the way she wanted to, but she's not going to give up. And I don't know, it just didn't hit me. If it worked for you, great. Didn't really work for me. So sometimes I'm not going to have a lot really poignant to say about a show. I'm just going to let you know my thoughts on it. And sometimes my thoughts are just like, yeah, all right. We're almost done with this. This show's, at the time of recording of this video, this show is almost over here. By the time we watch it, it will have had its 12th episode. Season 2 of our From Commonplace to World's Strongest. So, I watched Season 1 somewhat begrudgingly and became less interested as it went along. I got through, I think, like 4, maybe 5 episodes of Season 2. I will probably watch episode 12 and maybe even episode 11 to see like the best fights. This show, in my opinion, is best enjoyed in clip form, or actually more specifically, is best enjoyed in anime music video form, like some rockin' guitars, wailing, like speed metal playing, while this complete and utter edgelord uses ancient magics to defeat powerful monsters and villains. And also, most likely, the clips of all of the action scenes won't include clips of, like, oh, the girl that calls him dad that he's looking after. Of course, her mom is interested in him. And, oh, also, the teacher that also got isekai, because he's one of many students that got isekai. The teacher also now has romantic feelings for him, which is very obviously inappropriate. And just like, they just added more characters that want this complete emo nonsense dude. Yeah, I think just kind of sucks. Yeah, I think the show sucks, but again, the fight scenes are pretty good. And Season 2, from what I saw at least, they toned down the computer-generated meshing with the digital, and it looks better than Season 1 did. That's just my opinion. I know some people real into this show. Speaking of people being real into it, and it's just my opinion, Attack on Titan Final Season Part 2, which I love that it is the, they say it is the sequel to Attack on Titan Final Season, because, yeah, last year they put out the final season of Attack on Titan, and then we're like, stay tuned for Part 2 of the final season, because manga readers were like, hey, there's a lot more to this. Now, I don't care about Attack on Titan. I've made this clear, short answer. When it became more about people who turn into monsters to fight monsters instead of the last of humanity fighting giant monsters, I kind of tuned out and have been tuned out. I will most likely read a Wikipedia article about the end of this series. I think that's probably more my speed than watching it. If this episode 12, the final episode, was coming out in 10 days at the time of this recording, you can't wait for that. Awesome. I hope you enjoy it. Again, just not for me. I know I am in the minority here because this hot take, man is the real monster. Yes, Dirty. In this show, the ranking of order of who is the real monster is humanity. Humanity that can also turn into monsters. Monsters. Monsters is so low, it's not, yeah, it's just, because the real monsters are the people who are letting the people turn into monsters against their will. And then maybe, I guess, in between is the people who want to turn into monsters. They're worse than the people who turn into monsters unwillingly. There's a lot of monsters. Also, the monster design, the idea for the Titan comes from the creator's interaction with a drunk foreigner, a Western foreigner. So there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot about Attack on Titan. There's a lot. Anyway, I won't have to talk about Attack on Titan for a while now, until, I guess, if Crunchyroll does awards next year, then I'll have to talk about it again because it'll be up for awards. But hopefully that's the last time I have to talk about Attack on Titan on a Pat Bear's Anime Club. Be nice. Q, did not watch Q. It is a music voice actor idol show based on a video game. And I did not watch it. Who picked this up? Okay, Crunchyroll had this. Yeah, did not watch this. Did not watch Delicious Party Precure. I have not watched any of the Precures, but the Pretty Cures. But I know it is. You don't get a lot of shoujo, a maho shoujo, a magical girl. You don't get a lot of magical girl stuff that isn't the twisted side of magical girls. That is just magical girls, like. At this point, especially subtitled for other audiences outside Japan, it's rare to get that. Generally, we're just getting the dark takes on it. We're not getting the just it. So I'm glad it exists for folks that are interested in that. Demon Slayer. Hell yeah, Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer's already over, but it did come out this season, so we'll talk about it. I mean, it's weird. It's complicated. What is it part of the season? It was part of last season with a train arc and all that. Whatever. Let's just talk about it. Demon Slayer rules. The animation was gorgeous this season. Even the stuff that wasn't, adapted from the movie. The music continues to be kick-ass, especially that ending theme. So good. And yeah, just like good boys being good, and the not so good boy redemption. There's some redemption in this one. Pretty good. Pretty damn good. I did not watch Fantasia Sango Realm of Legends. It's based on a video game. Funimation had this one. I did not watch it. I have not heard anything about it. Oh no, there's a conspiracy that heroes have to stop some stuff. They got to be united. Yeah, I didn't watch this. I also didn't watch Futsal Boys. It is I assume this is a football. Yeah. It's a football style thing with a sport that is pretty much that. I don't watch a lot of sports anime. There is a sports anime next season that I might watch, but this was not the one. There was one that came out this season that I might pick up and marathon. We'll talk about that when we get there. Girls Frontline. Did not watch Girls Frontline. Again, I'm probably not going to watch a show where some fight in wars as tactical dolls or T-dolls. I'm probably not watching an anime with tactical dolls. that is probably based on a mobile game that has scenes that are not for all audiences. Yeah, I'm probably just not gonna do that. Let's see. Let's keep going here. How a Realist Hero Rebuilt the Kingdom Part 2. So this was a Part 2, not a second season. It is, we got, at time of this recording, a few more episodes. There are going to be 13 episodes. It started a little late in the season, so we got a little time left if you want to get caught up. So, How a Realist Hero Part 1, made by Top 10 Anime of 2021. It is a show I very much enjoy. The second part has been hit or miss. They introduced a lot of new characters. They wrapped up a storyline from the previous season because it was hard to cram that in because it is running into an issue that we'll talk about multiple times in this video, where manga is meant to be like, okay, we're going to keep this going. Manga is generally, and light novels as well, not written for 12 arcs. They're not written for like a bunch of episodes. I totally forgot about Realist Part 2. Yeah, Nathan, they introduced a scientist whose sleeves of her lab coat are too long, and she's great. Then they put the dragon daughter as a maid, and that's not great. There's a somewhat long, protracted events about him trying to clean up various things in town that sometimes doesn't go well. That involves a good slave owner, and you're like, what the fuck, anime? It's hit or miss. Yeah. Some of it's good. I think the introduction of the Empress is pretty okay, and finally tying up the stuff with the Principality's princess, who is not involved in everything, but was like pulling some strings behind the scenes. We're finally getting some stuff with there. Yeah, Nathan, there's a whole thing about like he can't just get rid of slavery, because you can't just turn it off. So he has to like change how the system works. But there's a guy who's been doing the right thing, and so Soma's gonna have that guy help out. But we spend a lot of time building up this new character, and like he gets most of the episode, and it's like, oof, I'm gonna not like that, because based on a light novel, there is a manga adaptation, which I read and enjoy. We haven't gotten that far. The anime is now further than the manga, so I'm not necessarily looking forward to that part of the manga. In the Land of Leadale, also another anime that is past the manga adaptation because it is based on a light novel. This is one of my favorite shows this season. Kana reacts about her situation, that she died while playing a VR MMO and then woke up in that world. She's not, and also one thing that's kind of cool is many people have experienced this. I think we only meet 4, maybe 5 other people that this has happened to, but some people have woken up as well and are playing it. And that's interesting. I think maybe there's only 4. And I would have loved to see more of that, but this is not, this show didn't necessarily fit into the mold of a 12-episode series because it's slow paced. Also, it basically is just like moving along, and there's action scenes, and like there were no action scenes in the last like 2, maybe 3 episodes of the series. It just became much more slice of lifey, which I like. Don't get me wrong, but this is a show that like tries to be a lot of things. It tries to be an action show and funny and a slice of life in a fantasy world and have poignant moments, and maybe starts to try to figure out what the mystery is, but not really. So it's a mixed bag, but I overall enjoyed it. Also, I want to know what's up with that fairy that only she can see, but maybe only other people can see the fairy. I don't know what's going on with that. It's weird. There's a bunch of stuff that I'm like, does the author have answers to these questions? I don't know. Life with an Ordinary Guy Who Reincarnated into a Total Fantasy Knockout. I did not watch this isekai. This is the isekai that I skipped. So, here's the thing. I've seen a clip of Leadale and wanted to check it out. Yeah, Nathan. Overall, I think Leadale is totally worth checking out. I think it's fun, and I think that the interesting element of it is the fact that she's not like super cool with what's happening. Um, like the fact that she realizes she died has some weight to it, and that's interesting. Um, I tried to read this manga, Life of an Ordinary Guy Who Reincarnated into a Total Fantasy Knockout. Um, I didn't find the humor that humorous, and it is a comedy because one of these two friends, and they're office workers and friends. They get sent to another world and reincarnated, but one of them is a guy and they're both gentlemen, but one is now in a female's body, and the goddess is just like, also, I'm going to make it so that you're attracted to each other. And the humor of this show comes from everyone is attracted to her. He's trying not to be, but sometimes they slip and they're attracted to one another, but they don't want to be attracted to one another because they're not interested in one another. This is artificial. So they got to like go on an adventure and do a bunch of stuff. And then there's like a guy who's not interested in her, and that makes her mad because that's how people are supposed to be. And it's just a lot of the jokes are about this, like, yeah, but you're a dude though. So, and I don't like that. That's not a joke to me. So I didn't watch this show. Basically, didn't like the premise, didn't watch it. I didn't watch Love of Kill. Because assassins, I don't mind the premise of assassins fall in love with one another. This one didn't really feel like that. It felt like one assassin fell in love with another assassin, and then the other assassin was like, no thanks, but gets worn down. And I'm not really interested in that myself. Or what the mystery is, and because I'm sure there's a bunch of other stuff going on. I saw a couple clips of this and it seemed okay, but also like, nah. Miss Kuroitu from the Monster Development Department. This is a show where this premise fucking kicks ass. This is such a good premise. Like, monsters have to get created by this evil organization, so it's a workplace comedy about people who make monsters, but none of the jokes made me laugh, and I watched 2 episodes of it, and I was like, hey, this is either too much about the workplace and not enough about the monsters, or too much about the monsters and not enough of the workplace. And I couldn't decide, but the balance is wrong. Whatever the balance needs to be, it didn't hit for me. A couple of my friends are really enjoying this show, so maybe I'll give it a second chance, but I don't think I will because it didn't hit me. Also, the animation is kind of all over the place, but the first episode looked pretty great, and the second episode felt like they had already run out of money. So that's bad. Here is another show that I know I am the opposing feeling on. My Dress Up Darling. It might just be that I am an almost 42-year-old person. This show is too horny. The idea of a guy that, like, a high school dude that's never really had friends because he's got a weird hobby, which is making Hina dolls. And he's just never really connected with anyone. But he meets somebody that really wants to get in cosplay, and she wants him to make costumes, and she appreciates how hard he works. And maybe she's not overtly horny for a high school person, but she is a very horny high school person. She's a sexually forward high school person, and I couldn't keep watching it because it's so. I don't care if it's true to life. I don't care if I'm an old prude. Fine. I couldn't. This is a show that maybe there is a version of Pat Baer that would have liked the show a lot. I think mostly I just felt uncomfortable watching it, so I stopped. Nathan says, I watched 7 episodes of My Dress Up Darling and I like it, but I wish the animators weren't so horny for the female characters. Yeah, that's what the thing is. And again, there's a difference between I want to dress provocatively or I know I'm teasing you and that's fun, and it feeling like that this was a lecherous show for the audience. There is a difference between a person, a character, having agency of their own sexuality and the audience looking at a doll. And this one, I didn't feel good about it. I love the premise of a dude getting into making cosplay, because cosplay is really tied to horny in anime and manga, and there have been like cosplay episodes of some stuff that have been great, like a show that sometimes is a little horny, which is Dragon Maid. Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid has like a Comic-Con style thing, Comic-Con thing, but you get to like see like the monsters, the people from other worlds can be themselves because they're doing quote unquote cosplay, but they're not, and how cool that is. And then other people's self-expression, and they're like, it shows up in anime. This one, it's just tied to horny high school kids, and I didn't feel great about it. So there's that. Nobody picked up Ninjala because it's a kid show. So it generally, as I said, kid shows don't get anime adaptations. Don't get subtitled in many markets, because if they are meant to be for kids, they assume kids don't want to watch with subtitles, which is possibly true. Orient seemed very blah. This anime seemed super blah to me. It just didn't seem great. The animation didn't really stand out to me. The story didn't seem interesting to me at all. Dude, I like a show where there's a bunch of mythical cool swords and you got to find those cool swords. And you know, you got to take on some demons and stuff. But none of this seemed fun. And also, I watched 3 episodes. I don't know where the comedy, I think, is that like slapsticky, but not really good slapstick. Anyway, Orient didn't do anything for me. I didn't even try Police in a Pod. Look, I like a girl boss as much as anybody. But if you think I was going to watch an anime about a lady who was thinking of leaving the police force, but a cool lady came in to her area, and now she has a cool female boss, and now there can be cool female cops. If you thought I was going to watch that, you don't know me very well. There's just no way I was going to watch that. Yes, John says, cool ladies telling you it's cool to be a cop. Not cool. Yes, not interested in that. Worst part of Nan Nan Biori was when they were like, oh, there's a new girl in town, and her dad's the local police officer. And I'm just like, fine. That one wasn't too bad. This is like, no. I don't care about this. I also don't particularly care about Princess Connect HiDive Season 2. So, it's a sequel to Princess Connect HiDive. Apparently, there's some cool dramatic parts of this. A thing if you want to check out the first season and the second season, a thing you have to understand is that the main character isn't the main character. And I think that's okay. In this photo, he is way back in the corner. He's like not important at all, because he doesn't have a memory, and it's not about him. It's about these princesses. And then in season 2, they kind of get into why. And there's some like stuff going on, and I didn't watch any of it because I generally don't enjoy anime where the main character has memory loss. When you add in the fact that he has memory loss and also because sometimes memory loss is like, I don't have my memories, I don't know who I am, but I know things about the world. This guy doesn't know anything. Like he can barely say words. And sometimes that's funny, but it's too much of it. I do like some of the characters in it. I watched most of the first season. There was no interest on my end to check out the season 2 of this. This is a double length, so I guess I could get caught up if I wanted to. A Requiem of the Rose King. Is this a Funimation? Yeah, this is a Funimation. Oh no, it's showing up on Crunchyroll because it'll continue on Crunchyroll. So shows that were 2 cores have started to show up on Crunchyroll and will continue there. Yeah, I didn't check this out. This didn't look. I think in theory, the idea of an anime based on an early draft of a Shakespeare play is kind of cool. Just maybe not Richard III. Maybe not this. And like, you telling me, finds the man who would be king standing between worlds, between classes, between good and evil. I'm like, nah, I'm all right. Yeah, I think I'm okay. But anime based on Shakespeare, I'm not opposed to that at all. Rusted Armors is the worst anime of 2022, and it's worth watching an episode of this. Watch the trailer. Now these rankings you see here are from AniChart, like people and AniList, people like giving their thoughts on it. It is real bad. It's brutal. It is all CGI, and some of the models they don't pay any money to. None of the characters seem good or interesting. Most of the fight scenes are terrible. It's not historically accurate or does, which it doesn't have to be obviously, but it doesn't do anything fun with the history it's in. And yeah, it's based on like a multimedia. Look, I'm generally side-eye multimedia projects because like it's one thing like we did a thing and then we did another thing. It's another to be like we're gonna do we have the concept art, we're gonna do stage plays and a manga and an anime and we're doing all of this. And generally when everything comes out all at once, to me it feels like nobody put enough effort into any part of this. And that at the very least, I can't tell you about the manga, I can't tell you about the stage play, but I can tell you about episode 1 of the anime, which I was just laughing at, and it is not a comedy. Holy shit. I would suggest checking out the trailer of Rusted Armors, because it's gonna be hard to be worse than that. A lot of people were talking a lot of good stuff about this particular anime, Sabeku Bisco. Bisco seemed like people were going to be real into it. And I do like a post-apocalypse that involves a lot of mushrooms, because that's just weird. And I was like psyched about that. And also, the sentence joining him on this epic saga to save the country is a giant crab and a young doctor. I was like, yeah. But I gave this 3 episodes, and I didn't like him. He's a little Natsu from Fairy Tail, but like if Natsu wasn't ready to do anything, because Natsu in the first episode is very strong. It takes a while before people are stronger than Natsu in Fairy Tail, but this had a feeling of like, what if Natsu wasn't good at what he did? What if we started like the flashbacks to Natsu as a kid, basically? Yeah, I wanted to like this. I didn't. Also, there's a character that is clearly a villain that they try to make you think isn't a villain, and it's like, come on, anime, then draw him differently. Come on. I'm going to take a sip of water here before I talk about the next show. Sayuki Reload. Zeroin. So, this is the sequel to Sayuki Reload, Gridlock. Okay, how do I begin to describe this? This is a show, I have not watched this because it was on, it was on HiDive. I don't have HiDive. Haven't watched it. But Sayuki Reload is a retelling of the Journey to the West. So you got Son Goku and the other guys, basically. You see that down here. That's Son Goku. It's Journey to the West, but it is an anime adaptation. Sayuki Reload was like, what if, and it came out in the 2000s, what if we did Journey to the West, but all the boys were attractive? It was kind of like a Bishonen thing. And it was like, okay. And it wasn't bad. The animation was really good for the time. Then they did a sequel series called Gridlock. And the manga wasn't done. So Gridlock just like made up a bunch of shit and had its own ending. And most of that anime was not, with the manga adaptation, or no, the manga. And people were pissed. And so this is basically it's like a reboot or a retelling of Gridlock, where it takes the first couple episodes and does them right, but is generally following the manga. So for people that really loved Sayuki Reload and were like bummed out that the anime or before now wasn't faithful to the manga, congratulations. That doesn't mean I'm interested in it, because I didn't think Sayuki Reload was that good to begin with almost 20 years ago. That's just me. Maybe 10 years ago. Maybe it was 2012, not 2004. I don't know. 2014, whatever. Either way, I don't want to watch this. And so I didn't. Salaryman's Club. This is the anime that is a sports anime that I might check out, because my good friend Ian Horner, friend of the stream, and of course friend of Pat Bear's, former Pat Bear's Anime Club guest, Ian really likes this. Yeah, John says I want to watch Salaryman's Club. Ian has been checking this out. Again, I'm not much of the sports anime, but I do like the idea of a guy who lost in high school at badminton, and then now he's got like a day job, an office job, and he plays badminton on the side. And like, maybe there's some good drama there. We're not seeing like the rags to riches story of a high school team like coming together around a protege or someone that loves it, or like a team of weirdos. This is like, yeah, what happens when you are really competitive and into sports in high school and then you just get a job? That could be great. I've heard really good things about it. I said Ian's a big fan of it. So this is a show. If there's any shows that I have been thinking about picking up and marathoning, it might be this one. I might be checking out Salaryman's Club. I'll let you know if I do. Sasaki and Miyano, I want to love this show. Look, a light gay show, like a boys love show that isn't like, look, this is not to say that I don't think that your dramatic, heartfelt gay stories aren't important. Given is beautiful, and I love Given because it's like honest and real, and it's got so much heartbreak. But also a cute story about like a dude that like reads a lot of boys love manga and then finds himself in like a boys love situation. It's cute as hell. I want to love it. I just didn't. And Studio Den is a great animation studio, but I feel like they put a lot of love into like some other stuff they were working on previously, and it just didn't hit me. It didn't pop, and I wanted it to, because I want this concept to succeed, and I want there to be more stories like this. So this one, I'm disappointed. This is a big disappointment. I wanted it to be great, and it's just like, all right. I'm like, episode 12 is coming out soon, time of this recording, but I think I'm like 6 or 7 episodes in. I should finish it off, but yeah, it didn't hit me, and I wanted it to. I'm looking for that like fun comedy romance show. I'm gonna get some of it next season, but I was looking for that. I'm in chasing Horimiya, and so I was hoping that this was that. So I would say about She Professed Herself Pupil of the Wise Man, if you really love isekai, maybe you should watch this. But if you don't love if you only like kind of like isekai, or you've liked some isekai, then just skip it. Um, I will say this, as opposed to the total knockout, this one where you have a gentleman who is now in a video game as his avatar, but his avatar is now a young lady because it was changed right before the incident. Um, it's not about that, like, oh, but he's really a dude. It's not about that. It's mostly about like exploration. And a thing that doesn't make sense about this particular one is um he's a summoner, and everyone's like, yes, but summoning magic sucks. Now, there was one great mage who was great at summoning, but he was it's like, well, you can't have both. You can't have the character he played in the MMO, which is now real, was like the best summoner ever and the best magician in the world, best mage, and I'm the pupil of that. And so I'm going to be great. And people will be like, that doesn't seem right to me. And it's just like, well, either he was the greatest or that. You can't have both those things. There is a character who is completely and utterly obsessed with our main character, and it's creepy, and she's weird, and I don't like it. And also, the voice actress for our main character is doing a weird voice for this character to make it seem childish and younger, and I don't like that voice. So, yeah, I'm gonna finish it, because I do want to finish it up. Also, the days of it when it comes out changed, which has been a little weird. Or no, it won't. I think the last episode just comes out a day early, maybe. Anyway, I don't know. I don't love it. I have not watched any of the now ongoing. It will now bleed into the into next season. Shenmue the Animation. I have not watched a single moment of this. If it's great, I hope you enjoy it. But there's just no way I would watch this. As a person that finished Shenmue 1 on a dare, I was dared to finish it. No thanks. We're almost done with Slow Loop. Slow Loop is another show that I really wanted to love this season. I was looking for my slow life about girls fishing. Sometimes it's not enough about the fishing in this one. It's more about the fact that this like friendship where they're also stepsisters, newly stepsisters. It's an interesting premise. I don't think the whole show comes together. I don't think Connect is the right studio for this show particularly. Yeah, I just wasn't thrilled with it, and I wanted to be thrilled with it. I'm gonna finish it, but yeah. Teasing Master. I did not watch this. I have not watched any of Teasing Master. This is another show that's on HiDive this season. I believe this is the last season of this. It's cute. People like it, but the overall premise of the show is that these two kids sit next to each other, and they've grown up sitting next to each other, and she teases him mercilessly. And now in the third season, he's starting to maybe tease her. And I believe that there is a sequel manga that is ongoing right now, which is like their kid, and he teases like the girl he sits next to. I believe that's to be true. Let me know in the comments, either in chat or later on YouTube, if I got that wrong. But anyway, I just don't particularly enjoy the like, oh, I'm teasing you because I like you. It's just like, I don't need to watch a bunch of episodes of that. And there have been 3 seasons. And I know that it's been very good for HiDive. But I'm pretty okay with it, with missing out on that one. Case study of Vanitas Part 2. This was a direct, like a 2-core, basically. Instead of a double length, they're just like back-to-back, I believe. Or maybe there was a season in between. Anyway, it's a vampire show I haven't watched. I know some people really enjoy this one. I just didn't like the first part 1. I don't like the main character. Yeah. I just don't really like Vanitas that much. So I didn't watch it. Maybe I'm missing out. The Genius Prince's Guide to Raising a Nation Out of Debt. We are getting close to wrapping up this show. Overall, I will say I haven't actually watched episode 11, which at the time of this recording was recently out. So I need to catch up on that. This show, I wanted to really love it, and I like it. It is a fantasy show, and I appreciate that. I think a thing I really like about a thing I think I really like, fun. Our prince, our main character here, Wayne. I like that things don't always go perfect for him. He's a schemer, and he's a plotter, and he's very smart. But sometimes he doesn't have complete control. And the thing he often doesn't have control. One, he doesn't have control about, like, he can lead people, but they don't always go there. The thing that I think most about him is that he underestimates. Well, he doesn't underestimate. He still, even if he thinks it's wrong, he will still help out people that he cares about, and sometimes they surprise him in ways that he didn't anticipate. So even though he was still going to do it no matter what, he's still like, ugh. So Nathan, this is what if, take out the isekai part, and what if instead of being like a guy that wanted to study being a civil servant, or was studying to be a civil servant, becomes king? What if the good-for-nothing prince that doesn't want to work hard becomes like the ruling, the de facto king, because his father is like sick. So his Soma's problem solving is to literally solve problems for the good of this country and then the people he likes there. Whereas Wayne's issue is, I want this country to flourish so that we can be absorbed by another country and I can retire. But he doesn't really feel that way, but he does feel that way. But does he really feel that way? Because he still is going to do the right thing, and he's still a schemer, and he still has skills. So it is a little different. This is more the lazy prince rather than the realistic hero. It's fine. I think it's good. I like the characters that support him. There's a whole weird thing where this girl is like a humanoid race, but not a human, and there's a lot of racism about that. But like, I can't tell if the anime is like, well, you know, you the viewer can't even tell the difference between them. That's how bad it is. Or if the artist, of the manga and now the anime was just like, yeah, we don't want to draw them ugly or weird. I don't know, but that's a weird thing that I don't love about it. The Strongest Sage with the Weakest Crest is not a good anime, but it's a pretty fun reincarnation story. What happens when the strongest mage ever decides he's going to be reborn in the future so that he can start over and become even stronger because the crest he has limits him? Well, you get an anime with immediate introductions of girls. There's some flirting. They're nice girls. There's a dragon. The red ad here is a dragon girl. She's the best thing in the show because she is a clumsy human, because like she had a big body and now she's like, there's a lot of shots where the joke is in the background she's eating because that's just the thing she likes to do. She's defeated enemies by like falling near them because she's so strong. There's some good stuff to this. It is very predictable. Right now, as we are close into episode 12 of 12 at the time of this recording, we finally met an enemy that Maddie can't immediately defeat. And that's maybe okay. There's also a minor character in the show that I really love. I went from disliking him to really liking him. There's a guy who... He keeps saying, I'm not a mage, I'm not a sage, like I'm just a swordsman, but he's been unconsciously using spells and like defense spells to fight against magicians. And eventually Maddie's like, you can use magic. And the guy's like, what? And he's like, yeah, and you can use magic to make your sword even stronger, and you an even stronger swordsman. And the guy's like, no one told me that. And it's like, I'm sure they did. So I do like that. I like the dummy minor character that is around there a little bit. But yeah, most of the part, this is an easy, breezy show if you're looking for a very fine, overpowered main character. I'll be interested to see if the other adaptation ends up coming out, because this light novel, there's this manga, there's a manga based on that light novel, and then there's a different interpretation where it's like, what if the guy kind of sucked and wasn't nice? What if he was like, the reason why he wants party members, Maddie, is like, oh, you can get stronger together, and that guy's like, yeah, I should have a party. I never did. Nobody liked me before. So there's like another version, which is almost identical with some different characters, but mostly the main character is just like egotistical. And I was like, that's so weird that exists. Tokyo 24th Ward. I did not watch any of this. This just did not seem interesting, and I did not pick it up. It's a mystery, sci-fi mystery thriller that just did not seem interesting to me. Tribe 9. Oh boy, I want to. It's an anime where gangs fight by playing future baseball. And it's a comedy. The main characters in the show seem to think it's a comedy, but other characters don't think it's a comedy. But I don't think that it's funny that the other characters treat it seriously, because sometimes treating things very seriously is incredibly funny. I don't want to get on a huge comedy tangent here, comedy theory, but usually if the main character is serious and everyone else is wacky, that's great. But if all of the main characters are wacky and all of the villains aren't, it's tonally just weird. Because this is an anime where gangs settle their disputes by playing baseball. Future baseball. I want to love it. And I want it to be better. Yeah. I want it to be zany, and it's sometimes wacky. It's just not what I wanted. Anyway, World's End Harem. I have not watched any of this. I believe this ended, it didn't end January 7th. This is a quirk that happens with AniChart, where when a show ends, they put the date that it started. It's just an AniChart thing. It started January 7th. This show, I believe one episode came out last season, and then they pulled it and held it for a whole other season, which probably meant that they were having issues with like the middle episodes, and then they just gave it more time. That's generally a bad sign. Maybe not always, but often is a bad sign. Look, the very premise of dude goes into cryo freeze. When he wakes up, there's only a couple other guys left on Earth, and so all these ladies want. There's 5 guys. All these ladies want to get with him. It's important that they do, but he is a virgin and has promised himself for one lady, and he can't find her. She's still out there because he wasn't frozen that long. So the whole premise of the show is basically boils down to ladies want to sleep with this guy. He does not want to sleep with any of them, which in the world of harem anime is at least he doesn't want to, because often there's never a stated reason why they don't want to sleep with all these women that very much want him. So either they're clueless or they're just like awkward about it. Here, at least he's like, I have a reason. I gotta go find Arisa. Now, there's a mystery with this one, and I don't know why. That's right. This came out in October, yeah, because it came out the previous season and then was just like pushed. But yeah, they put the first episode out. Anyway, I didn't watch this. There's no way I would watch this. Shorts. I'll go through the ones I have been watching. This I didn't know this show was airing. This was thanks to someone in a YouTube comment. Thank you for that. That I found out about I'm Kodama Kawashiri, which is on hiatus, unfortunately. They aired episode 9. There's going to be 24, and then they're taking like 3 weeks off, and I don't love that. This show fucking rules. It is a short. The first minute and a half of every episode is this beautiful looking opening, like any other anime. Great song of this girl that like does manga at night and is an aspiring manga artist and like scrounges her daily life and tries to make things work. And then it ends, and then it becomes the art style in this photo. The actual episodes are 1 minute long, and it's just diary style. So all the art looks like a crude drawing, like a crude diary art, and all of the voices are done by the same voice actress. As if so, like she talked about how she met a guy that day that she went to college with. She'll do his voice. It's about someone that lives. I think it was like a dangerous life hacker, and the idea of life hacking is just that she is just like her lazy life. One episode is just dedicated about how nice it is to buy a lot of fried chicken because you know as you're working you can always go over to the table and eat some fried chicken. That's an episode. It's just about how great it is to have a lot of fried chicken in the house. It's just a little diary comic anime. I don't know why it's ranked so low because it's adorable and it's really fun and it's short. It's on Crunchyroll. There's 9 episodes right now, and there's going to be 14 more coming out. Watch it because I think it's really fun. There'll be 15 more coming. This did not get anything here, but that was a music show. That's generally not my style. I think that was the only short that I watched. This is I do want to watch Lupin the Third, and I haven't yet. I fucked up because I do want to watch part 5. I believe part 5 was just on HiDive, but it's coming. Part 6 or part 5 was on Crunchyroll. I think part 6 is only on HiDive, but more is coming. I heard that part 6 is really good, so I would like to check it out. As I said, right now I haven't, but I am interested in checking it out because I do really like Lupin. I did not watch this last season. I did not continue to watch it this season. Platinum End. I have heard nothing good about Platinum End. I can't believe it was a double length. It looked so shitty. Ranking of Kings. I've tried so hard. Look, Boji is best boy. Boji is clearly best boy. He's a good boy. He's trying so hard. If this show was a slice of life, I think I'd be more interested. But because it's an epic fantasy adventure where the main character is just a little boy trying his goddamn best, I'm just so afraid for Boji, and I just can't. Just so many terrible people in this anime, and do they get their just desserts? A lot of them do. I tried so hard, and I just couldn't. This is the one where I'm wrong, and I accept that I am wrong on this one. I didn't watch any of second season of Yashahime. I watched most of the first season. I mostly just liked that it exists. The fact that they took the spin-off anime, the sequel anime to Inuyasha, and then it came out. And a lot of the Japanese voice actors have returned to their original roles, and a lot of the English dub actors returned to their roles. And I think that's awesome. It is a little like... The other thing I will say that I enjoyed is it's not as bad as Boruto, whereas Boruto is a show about this next generation of ninjas, but also about how cool Naruto was. This show isn't as much that. There aren't episodes dedicated to how cool Inuyasha is. There are stuff that is tied to their past because it's everybody's fucking kids, but it's not as bad. I do think there should have been more characters in the show that had nothing, that never met Inuyasha and didn't know who Kagome was, and don't have a lot to say about Shomaru. It would have been kind of cool if they had some characters just what's up? There are a couple, but not enough in my opinion. I don't think I saw any movies here, so I'm gonna get, because we still have to talk about the preview. We got through the review. I want to see Fruit Basket's Prelude. It's about her parents, and I want to see it, and I haven't, and I would like to see it. Deer King also seems pretty cool. Wouldn't mind checking it out. Production IG is fantastic. Let's see. Some OVAs. Not a lot of these show up, over here. It's kind of rare to get OVAs these days, unfortunately. Oh yeah, if you get the DVD of My Hero Academia, you get this OVA, which is a one shot. Let's see. This seems pretty cool. I don't know. HoloLive Error is seems fucked up, and I did not watch. I would not watch this OVA, this one off, if there was a subtitle for it, because it seems fucked up. And it's like a it's original video animation. It seems real fucked up. They did a sequel of Ora Tsushima, like that's on YouTube, that does not have English subtitles as far as I know, and I would like to watch it. We haven't been able to. This is a prequel to something or other, I believe. We'll talk about soon. The unaired episode that came out with the DVD of Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid S, which is the second season. I would probably watch the King of Fighters short if I could. This just came out. This is available on YouTube, but not in the US. So if you have if you've got a VPN, you can watch this with subtitles, because it is subtitled. It's just not available. The YouTube episode you just can't watch in the US or Canada. So perhaps. Fuck them. I have a rant in me about this, and I'm going to save it. So, Battle Digest is just the previous movie, but with music you want to listen to while watching an Initial D movie, and they do it on fucking purpose so they can sell more Initial D, and it sucks that they do this. So basically, they put out Legends with J-Rock, and people are like, fuck off with this. And then they take just the battle scenes, so not the whole movie, just the races, and they put it out again with Eurobeat that you want to hear, because if you remember, if you watched Initial D, it's got a Eurobeat soundtrack that really fucking bumps, and it's great. And they do this on purpose so they can sell more Initial D, and fuck them. Fuck you for that. That sucks. It's bullshit. I got strong opinions on that. The repackaging, on-purpose repackaging. Boo words. I have no comment on the quality of it. But just the Battle Digest. No thanks. So this just aired. This just aired. Well, it didn't air. It came out with the Nanan Biori Remember. So, Nanan Biori Nonstop is the third and final season of Nanan Biori, a fantastic, cute anime that I highly recommend. They put out the manga again in celebration of the anime concluding. This OVA, which is the 13th episode of this season, came with that. It also aired, it's also on some streaming sites in Japan. It is not currently on Crunchyroll. They aired the third season, but they don't have this. I am procuring this episode with subtitles and I will report on it tomorrow, because I will be watching it tomorrow. So I will have thoughts on this with my next model kit building stream, because I have found a way to watch it. I hope that OVAs really show up on Crunchyroll in the future. I don't expect them to, but I hope more do. Some shows end up with OVAs or OADs, but some don't, and I don't know. I don't know. It's a bummer. I don't know this show at all. I don't know what this thing is. It's just cool. It's just RCS is cool. Here's my hot take on these 4 episodes of Pocket Monsters. Is RCS is cool. I think we've hit everything on here. The drama specials, that's kind of fun, but those we don't get those. This is 2 episodes that focus on Ramirez from that time I got reincarnated as slime. I would like to see these. I don't believe the Crunchyroll has put these up. I'm going to check again because they did air pretty recently. My hope is I don't believe the Crunchyroll picked these up. My hope is that they have, because I would like to watch them, because she's a fun, silly character. I didn't watch Tesla Note, so I'm not going to watch the OVA. I did watch this. This is available. You can find this on Crunchyroll and Funimation. It is, if the thing that you hate the most about, or that you like the least about the regular at Magic High School, is the part where the 2 main characters are in love with each other and are brother and sister, well, perhaps you could watch this, which is a one-off episode of how they met, because they didn't spend a lot of time together before, and for a little bit of this, she doesn't like him. Orbital Children seemed neat, but have not seen that at all. And haven't watched any of Pretty Derby, so I have no thoughts there. Okay, I'm going to drink a little more water. We're going to go back up to the top here, and we're going to get into the spring 2022 stuff here. So we'll get into that in a second. Oops, sorry, got to click on a thing here. Sorry about that, y'all. We're going to talk about the spring season. I'm going to reply to my tweet here to see if maybe we can get a few more friends to hang out with us live, which would be nice. Thank you, everybody, for being here. If you have any thoughts about these shows, if there's anything that I'm about to talk about when we talk about the preview that you're anticipating or interested in, or maybe you know some stuff about it that I don't know, feel free to let me know here in the chat. Or later, folks who are watching this on YouTube, let me know in the comments. So, this is a romantic comedy about it's coming late in the season. So Crunchyroll's got it. It's coming late in the season. So I got plenty of time to find out about it because it's coming in 30 days. A couple of cuckoos. Basically, 2 people who are switched at birth find out they're going to go meet their, or no, a guy who, he was switched at birth, finds his biological parents. And then also somebody makes him agree to pretend to be dating him, and then because she doesn't want to get engaged to her fiance that she hasn't met, but it turns out that's him, and it's like they don't want to get married, and they're both going through a lot of stuff, and then there's other girls, and maybe it's hilarious, but it seems like a thing I don't want to watch. So I have no plans to check out a couple of cuckoos. Aharan-san wa Hakarena? It's not Macarena. Hagarania. Renai. Anyway, this show doesn't have an English translation right now, and I'm worried that no one's going to pick it up. It, as of right now, does not have anything, because I would like to watch this weird slice of life romance high school thing. It seems interesting, and I kind of want to hang out with it. Like, look, the art did what it's supposed to do. What's up with this person here, like watching from afar? Like, how big a size difference are these characters? Like, what's going on here? Which one is the one that is too close? Which one is not? Ghost Valve, hey Ghost Valve says, is kind of cute as a manga. So maybe it'll be cute anime. But again, it's totally possible that Crunchyroll's picking this up. Also, HiDive doesn't really usually say like coming soon. It might end up being a HiDive show. I don't know if anyone's picking this up. I hope someone does, because the premise seems enough. I would definitely give this 3 episodes, maybe 2. But I would definitely try this, because I am constantly looking for good romantic comedy shows, because I like those. I'm not going to watch this soccer anime. I'm just not going to watch this soccer anime. Yeah. I'm just not going to watch this one. I do like that there's a number of characters here who look like toughs. I think that's cool. Street toughs. Only 10 episodes for Ascendance of a Bookworm Season 3, which is interesting. They're only doing 10 for Season 3. This is a show that I don't watch week to week. I usually watch marathons when it's over, because nothing fucking happens in Ascendance of a Bookworm. Big things happen, but they are punctuated. There are punctuations on long stretched out time where it's just kind of just like going about it, problem solving, just seeing what's up. And it doesn't, week to week, it doesn't do it for me. I found that I actually enjoy this a lot when I watch it all at once, or in batches, and not week to week. So that's for me. It's not a week to week show, but I like it. I'm not going to watch this anime about girls who play golf. I just know there's just no way I'm interested in. I just have nothing about this interesting me. I don't know if anyone's going to pick it up, but this is the big thing, right? So when I say I don't know if anyone's going to pick this up, I literally don't know. Funimation will no longer be a service that sends out new anime, or has new anime. So is Crunchyroll going to have like twice as many anime shows that they did previously? I don't think they're definitely going to have like everything you would have seen on Funimation, because there's a couple shows that like, this feels like a Funimation show to me, right? Like, but what does that mean? Like, oh yeah, John might be checking out Birdie Wing because you don't know what to expect. Yeah, they're gonna shake the world of golf together. Also, how do you shake the world of golf together? Golf isn't a team sport or a duo thing. I don't know. I don't have the answers to that. But anyway, I don't know if we're going to see this, because I don't know. Like, am I going to have to get HiDive? Because there's going to be so many shows that I would like to watch on HiDive. Is Netflix going to have more than they do? Probably not, because I think Netflix right now, the only show they have is the one they've already announced, which we'll get to in a bit. I don't think they're going to have anything else, but I don't know. Are there going to be things that are going to be like Amazon Prime Japan and nobody picks it up over here, but it's all out? And I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with this. It's going to be really interesting. The start of next season, like, I just think that we're going to be back to the point where not everything gets an adaptation. Obviously, not everything did get an adaptation, but most things did, because it's so competitive over, But I don't know if it's going to be as competitive. Weird that when one company bought another company, it may have killed, the competition. Weird. Black Rock Shooter, Dawnfall. Sounds like the name of a fucking video game. This does not sound like an anime that takes 2 studios. This is, y'all, every part of this is a red flag. Black Rock Shooter is a PSP game. Yes, it's based on a video game. That's why the source is other. But every part of this is a red flag. The name, Black Rock Shooter Dawnfall. The fact that one of the studios working on it is a CG studio, but not both of them. The key art. being just a bunch of characters with a vague background. Everything about this screams, yikes. I did not watch the trailer for this. We're not going to watch that here. But yikes. Build Divide. Hashtag FFFF code white. This is the sequel to Build Divide Code Black, which I did not watch. I appreciate that Code Black was the color code for black, and this is the color code for white. They continued with that. They didn't decide to call it Build Divide Zeros and then just say Code White. I appreciate they went for it. This Build Divide name is a mouthful. Yes, Build Divide is already a mouthful because you have to really pause, because otherwise you just say Build Divide, which is someone being divided named Bill. Build Divide Code White, which is the sequel to Code Black. Again, I didn't watch Code Black. Can't tell anything about it. Dance Dance Dancer is one of those anime that I'll admit I'm going to miss out on. It's going to be cool, and I'm not going to watch it because it is a romance, love triangle, sports anime focusing on ballet. And I don't want to watch that. I just don't. I just don't have any interest in it. And it could be gorgeous, and I've heard very good things about the manga, but like, nah, I'm good. Crunchyroll is picking up Data Live 4. If you don't know what Data Live is, don't watch Data Live. If you do know what Data Live is, you already are planning on watching this. You already have it bookmarked. You're very excited. They're turning up the mecha in this one, which is good because sometimes some seasons didn't have as much mecha. Data Live is basically there are spirit, creature, monster, aliens that all have the form of cute girls, and it's the main character's job to date them and to win them over so that they don't destroy reality. And then there's, people don't like him doing that. Other people oh, you're not going to get me. There's a lot of tsundere and stuff. And then there are characters that are like over the top, love him, and then compete with one another. And then there's like a girl that only talks through a puppet, and she's the best girl. And then there's like his sister who is in love with him, but maybe she's not really related to him, but maybe she's also one of these spirits. It's a whole lot. Data Live is a fucking lot. And I am aware of Data Live. As I said, there is the cute little girl that talks through a puppet. And that's how she communicates, and she's great. There was a point where I was spending a lot of time with someone that really liked this series, so I watched all of season 1 and most of season 2, and it became an argument how I did not enjoy the series. So I am familiar with Data Live, and there's movies, and I think the movies are just retellings of the seasons, but whatever. There's a lot to it. Did anyone pick this up? Okay, so right now, we don't know if anyone picked this up. It has not been announced. I am interested in Diamond. I love this spin on the guy takes over the family business, right? Storyline, right? Dude, he's in the big city. He's doing some stuff. He returns home because his father has been hospitalized, and he's like, okay, sometimes they're happy, sometimes they're sad, but it's that like fish out of water, remembering stuff, being reunited with people. I'm going to take over this business. I'm going to run things, right? Because I'm the son, and we'll figure this out, and then stuff's going to happen, and people are going to learn and grow. But they're like, no. Instead, we'd like you to shepherd along this girl who she's taking over and running the restaurant or the shop. We want you to like be her guardian. And it's like, what? That's a weird twist on it. So I am excited about that. this feels like it's. I haven't read the manga. Feels like it's gonna have a good amount of cast of characters. I'm interested in this show. I hope that someone picks it up because it sounds like a fun premise. Don't Hurt Me, My Healer. I want a comedy that I like, y'all. I know that in a lot of ways, I am the problem because I have such high standards when it comes to comedy that there are funny anime out there that I don't find funny that other people really enjoy. And I like weird shit, and I know that. I tried to read this manga where there is a healer and she is mean to the guy that she is healing and everyone else. And he has a lot of patience. That's like kind of their dynamic. But why would he continue the manga, as far as I had read through, does not do a good job of why he doesn't quit and stop being with her. And I just didn't like it. And so I'm not even going to attempt to watch this. It's coming to Crunchyroll. I know that I did not enjoy the manga. Maybe the voice acting will be the thing that saves it for me. I'll watch the first episode, I guess. Because maybe I've read some of the manga, but it's just really just kind of annoying. Yeah, that's the thing. It feels very one note. It's just like, because the other thing is, it'd be one thing if she stops healing sometimes to insult him. And sometimes she causes the problems. It'd be one thing if she was a really good healer and you had to put up with it, but it's like, oh, she's not always a good healer. It's just like, what is this? What am I reading? So maybe the voice acting will push it over for me. I don't know. Ghost Valve is also not a big fan. A Stab Life, Great Escape. Yeah, this art doesn't look great. The idea of genetically engineered diverse people and beast folk and magical beings. There seems to be an animal person back here with swords, and that fucking rules. Like I get why that would be appealing, and maybe you understand why I would be interested in. Oh, this person has the swords. This art is worrying. I don't think I'm gonna watch this. It's on Crunchyroll's picking it up. I don't think I'm gonna be picking that up. I'm not gonna watch this. This is an anime about jockeys, and that's cool. That's cool because horse racing is still big all over the world. You might not even think about it ever in your life, but horse racing is still a big deal. There's very little media that exists for people that really love horse racing that isn't horse girls in anime. So the idea that there is a anime that is coming out about jockeys is cool. I would never watch this. I just don't think this is a show that I would watch. But I appreciate that it exists. This is a musical show about girls that heal that I believe is aimed at children. And I don't think it's going to get a subtitle. Let's see. This is... Yeah. This is a slice of life about a girl who ends up becoming the manager of an idol duo. And I don't think I'm going to watch it. Because I don't really like idol shows. I've enjoyed 2 idol shows in my life. But I don't think this is going to be one of them. In the Heart of Kunichi Tsubaki. This has got to be the show that HiDive picks up. Oh no, Crunchyroll picked it up. I'm wrong. I thought for sure this was going to be the HiDive show. One of the HiDive shows. I don't like this manga. I tried to like this manga. It's a village full of ninjas, but I just think the premise that deep down all girls want to know about guys is just such a rotten premise that I have no interest. Like the idea, well, men are forbidden, so of course women will be curious about men. It's like, really? All right. I don't know about that. I'm quitting heroing is the next thing we'll talk about here. And yeah, I'm interested in this premise. It's basically just like what happens. The idea that there have been other anime about this or stories about this. What happens after you beat the Demon Lord? Especially if you're not, it's not an isekai. You're not like going to go back to your home or whatever. What if you just beat the Demon Lord? You defeat the Demon Lord's army. Yeah, kings aren't going to like that because you're now like it made sense. It was good that you were strong, so that you could accomplish the goal. But what happens when you're like strong and everyone's just like, "Yikes! You're strong enough to one shot, to defeat a Demon Lord. Maybe we shouldn't hang out with you." And so, because this is a comedy, what he ends up doing, he doesn't just like disappear out into the woods, change his name, change his appearance, live a quiet life. He's like, well, I guess I'll just go and like work for the new Demon Lord. There's a new Demon Lord. I'll go like work for her and like shake things up and help people out. And I didn't love the manga. I haven't read a lot of it, but I read a little bit of it. Also his name is Leo Demonheart, and I would not be surprised if we find out that he is like actually part demon or something all along. It's him trying to gain the trust and rebuild the army. And then I don't know what happens when the humans find out that he has legitimately, because here's the thing, they betrayed him and then he legitimately betrays them. So I'm like, I don't know. I feel like this will get picked up. This is gonna be a HiDive show. So I don't think I'm gonna get HiDive just to watch this, but if HiDive gets a few shows, then I might. This feels like a show that Funimation would have picked up. The earlier version of Funimation. Kaguya-sama Love is War, ultra romantic. This is the third season. There is going to be a screening on April 2nd in New York and LA, so you can go and watch the first episode, an advanced screening somehow, if you can do that. This is the third season of Kaguya-sama Love is War, which now you can watch on Crunchyroll, because season 2, for a long time, you could only watch on Funimation. They got an exclusive. Now it's back at Crunchyroll. A1 Pictures does a great job with this show. The OVAs weren't great, but that's because the source material for the OVAs wasn't great. This show rules. Go watch the first season. I don't love shows where the two main characters don't like or act like they don't like each other, but definitely do. I generally, as a rule of thumb, don't enjoy that. But I do enjoy this because they're so over the top about they are aware of their feelings, but because of status, they want the other one to give in and announce their feelings first. And I think that's a fun premise. And then the supporting characters are all great. And there's a best girl in that show, and there's a bunch of fun support. And the season 2, they maybe like the character I didn't like, which is remarkable. Season 4 of Kingdom. I haven't watched any of this. I generally don't like historical, so I've not seen any of Kingdom. Comey Can't Communicate Part 2. Not Season 2, Part 2. So here's the thing. Who else will Comey make friends with? If we're at the point in the manga where friends of mine tell me I'm excited, because the thing I don't like about Comey Can't Communicate is all of the other friends. I don't like the girl that is yandere and fucking her. We introduced by her kidnapping our dude. But Tadano. I don't like the girl that is sweet and nice but wants to be treated poorly. I do like the girl who is, I'm a girl. You knew me as a boy. Now you know me as a girl. Everyone's on board. That is just wacky. I like that. I generally don't like that how a lot of jokes revolve around her not being able to use facilities for women because, no. And it's like, fuck off with that joke. That joke sucks. Nathan says Comey's family saves that show. Yes, Comey's family, of like the fact that her brother is really quiet, and like he comes to school and gets worshipped. That her mom is like a wonderful, like over the top, vivacious character, and her dad is like basically Comey, but like has being married for so long, he can communicate a bit better. That helps a lot. The fact also, hey, here's a minor thing, but a lot of the stuff with Comey Wikipedia on Netflix, like Netflix doesn't translate a lot of the text on screen. They translate a lot of like the dialogue, but they don't translate enough of the manga text. That's just throughout. They need to do better about that. So hopefully they will. So if this is the season where another character gets introduced and it becomes kind of a trio, I'd be all for that. Maybe a little bit more with the ninja guy, because I don't dislike the ninja guy, because he's clearly just there for jokes. I didn't watch the first season of Senki, so I don't expect to watch the second part of it. Look, I want to like a sunrise show. I want to like a mech show. There's one anime coming out this season that has mech that I am going to watch because I'm interested in it, because it's an isekai with mechs. So I am going to watch it. So I'm excited about that. That's coming. We'll talk about that in a minute or two. Love After World Domination is a great premise that I did not enjoy the manga of. Basically, it's the leader of a Power Rangers team falls in love with, when he realizes that, like, the villainous, not the top evil person, but one of the top evil people, they are interested in dating each other, and they're trying to make it work. And I think that premise is very strong. I like the opposites attract, the like, we shouldn't be together kind of a thing. I think that could be very fun. The idea that one of them is a Power Ranger and the other is like an evil person is a fun premise. I just didn't enjoy the manga that I read. I didn't read a lot of it, but I did not enjoy it. So I don't think I'm going to be checking this one out. That's Crunchyroll picking that up. Love All Play is an anime about badminton in high school. And I don't think that I'm going to watch it. Love Live, no interest. Four episodes, which is concluding part 2 of Madoka. I don't particularly enjoy Madoka. I like the premise of Love After World Domination, says Nathan, but the art isn't doing it for me. Yeah, totally fair. All 4 episodes are coming out at once. I don't know if Crunchyroll's going to air all 4 or if it's going to do it weekly. You'll find out on April 3rd. Look, you probably already know if you're really big on Madoka. I'm not. I generally don't like the gritty, dark versions of those magical girl shows. I just like them to be magical girl shows. The children's show that I know nothing about. This seems very cute. I don't understand. I assume that, look, this has got to be for kids, right? Because the last sentence, to improve human Oni relationships through love, friendship, and superpowered underpants. And you can see superpowered underpants. I feel like, oh no, HiDive. Okay, so this isn't for kids because HiDive picked it up. HiDive picked this one up. So, I don't know why they don't have an icon on each chart, but they don't. I've never heard of this. This is an original series. It's airing in April. They don't even have a date for it. Maybe this is very funny. I don't know. Here's one. This is one that snuck up on me. I've never read this manga. I don't even know if it's available anywhere. RPG Fudo-san. It's RPG Real Estate. Right now, no one has picked this up. I hope Crunchyroll does. Here we go, folks. This is my proclamation. If HiDive picks this up, I will get HiDive. Because this is a cute girls doing cute things show. This is your girls' slice of life. This season, this is the big one. and it is about some girls who now work at a real estate agency because the Demon King got defeated and the world's at peace. And what do you do if you were in magic school? You're trying to become a mage. You end up in real estate, and it's them showing fantasy creatures' homes. It's a little bit of Dragon Ghost house hunting again, which I really liked. So I hope someone picks this up. Again, I will get HiDive if that is the only way I can watch this. But I do hope that it shows up on Crunchyroll because I think it sounds real cute and it feels like a show. Also, Doga Kobo is fantastic at these kinds of shows. This is the perfect studio for this adaptation. I have high hopes for this one. It's just got such a good premise. Science fell in love, so I tried to prove it. I don't... Hey, chat or later, YouTube, do you know what R equals 1 sine 0 is supposed to be? Is it... I don't know what it's supposed to... I know it's some parts of a formula. Because it's Science Fell in Love, so I tried to prove it. It's the second season of Science Fell in Love, so I tried to prove it. Which came out on Amazon Prime all at once, but came out on Crunchyroll. Like the first 3 episodes came out, and then it became weekly, and it never really took off on Crunchyroll. I feel like this show is really fun. It's a very fun romance. As I said, there's a lot of romantic comedy shows this season. I think that's supposed to be Theta. Okay. I think it'll be. I think Crunchyroll will probably just call it Science Fell in Love, so I tried to prove it too. But whatever. You would think that this would be an annoying premise because these two people who are very science focused, the main characters, are trying to scientifically prove if they are in love with each other or not. But it's the support characters. It's the girl that doesn't actually want to be a scientist, that shouldn't be there. It's the actually really smart girl, but is like, for some reason, wants to play video games. It's the dude that shouldn't have been there, but is trying his hardest. It's the teacher who also is really... He's in there, he's not wearing... That's the teacher that's not wearing a shirt. Sometimes he just doesn't have a shirt, because he's also a musclehead, but also a genius. It's a weird show. There was also a character that got introduced towards the end of season 1 that was trying to instigate fights because that was her thesis statement that she was like working on, and it was very clear that she sucked, and I didn't like that part of the season, but it's good. It's a really solid, fun show. Okay, Mjan says, thank you very much. R equals 1, sine 0, graphs a heart in polar coordinates. Thank you very much, Mjan. I appreciate that very much. Thank you for letting me know that that is what it means. That is in polar coordinates, that is a heart. Thank you, Mjan. I figured it was something to do, like, that it didn't feel like a thing that didn't have an explanation. I just didn't know what that explanation was. And I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I don't think anyone's going to pick this up, but this is a weird idea for an anime, and I'm on board with how weird this anime seems. Maybe I should try to get the manga. Maybe I should track down the manga. It's about an overworked woman who's just tired all the time, and the place she works has a ghost. A little ghost girl that is like trying to... She's not trying to scare her away. She's trying to like convince her to like take it easy. And then there's like a cat girl, and then there's like a maid ghost, and it's a bunch of ghosts that are trying to help these two ladies here. And the trailer is adorable looking, and it's like she like brings snacks and drinks to like support her friend who can see her that she's quote unquote haunting. It's a cute haunting, and I don't know if it's going to get picked up by anybody, but I really like the premise. I think, yeah, I'm going to try to check down the manga. Shadowverse Flame, no thanks. Shikimori's not just a cutie. This is another Doga Kobo that, like I said, there's a lot of romantic comedy stuff here. that I might slice of life that I this one I might check out. This is like a kind of schlubby dude, like a nerdy whatever dude that has like a hot girlfriend, but like she's like sometimes she becomes a badass. Ghostfaust says that they like the manga, so sometimes she becomes like a like the trailer I saw. She gets like intense face. Shikimori is my dark horse for this coming season. I'm a sucker for the female prince character type. Yeah, she's the Prince Charming kind of thing. Like, and she's just like nice and kind. Yeah, but sometimes she'll get like tough. And I don't know, that sounds neat. I'm gonna give it a shot. Again, there's a lot of romantic comedy this season. This is, I don't know what this is, but this looks like a bunch of ladies who fight. And it's a sequel to a thing I don't know anything about, and there's only 3 episodes. This show has been postponed so many times. I saw a trailer for this like early last year, I believe, and then it just kept getting postponed because Studio Kai was working on other things that had gotten postponed because of the pandemic. So, nothing super... This is a run-of-the-mill manga. I have not read the light novel. I have read the manga. It's very run-of-the-mill. Let me tell you, if you think that most of this season is, or show is, him being afraid that people are going to find out that he's a skeleton, it's not. He wears armor all the time. Very few people know he's a skeleton. It's fine. It's mostly about him and this little fox friend here. And then like some cool animal people and elves, and it is an action show, but he is very strong and can fucking get it together. The first episode will have a scene that is maybe not suitable for all audiences. There is an attempt on someone who's going to be sexually assaulted that he thwarts. That is in the trailer and also in the first episode, and that doesn't happen since that is just to give some stakes. But I will say that that it does happen in the episode. And he's just basically becomes an adventurer. Also, I don't think the first 12 episodes will have this. There's a fucking cool old dragon that likes him. There's just a dragon that's just like, wow, you're strong. Yeah, I'll train you to be even stronger. It's good. Everybody likes him, and also when the people that do know find out that he is a skeleton, they're like, he's just like, yeah, this is like a curse, and they're all, oh, you were cursed. That sucks. Cool. They're just like accepting. They later say he's an elf that has been cursed. Spy Family. Look, obviously I'm going to watch. I love the manga for Spy Family. Of course, I'm going to watch Spy Family. You should be checking this out too. This is going to be fucking fantastic. If you don't know about Spy Family, a spy needs to have a family to go undercover. He ends up with a wife who is an assassin. They don't know that of each other. And the daughter is a psychic, so she knows what's going on. She's the only one that knows everything because she has psychic powers. And nobody knows about each other except for she knows everything, but they don't know that she's a psychic. And it's very cute and great. It rules. Check out Spy Family. It's going to be real fucking good. Summertime Render, I don't give a shit about. This is a murder mystery island thriller. It is not a like a survival. It may be a survival game. I do like the casualness of like, yeah, I just got a gun in my hand. Yeah, it's just like, what's up? What's happening here? I don't know. But yeah, there's some sinister stuff, and I'm just like, I'm good. Dawn of the Witch is interesting. I'm not gonna watch this because, Grimoire of Zero was on anime strike. Remember anime strike? When Amazon Prime had you had to have Amazon Prime and then also pay more to get like 4 anime, and they tried to do that, and then they just eventually, now you can just watch it. So you can watch Grimoire Zero on Amazon Prime, but originally you had to pay extra to watch it. This is the future. After the events. These characters back here are not in it as much. It focuses on a new dude who, of course, has amnesia and does not remember his past. And I don't give a shit about that then. I don't care about him because have some memories, kid. So it's weird that Crunchyroll is picking up a show where you can't watch the first season on Crunchyroll. But also you don't need to watch the first season because it's like, it references things that happened, and I guess it would be helpful, but it's not like a direct continuation. It's just like the next manga. Like the person that made this also then made another thing. It's weird. I'm not going to check it out because I didn't like Grimoire of Zero. And the Catman was my favorite part, and I don't think he's really in this one. Because it's mostly about some students. Unlikable, or not unlikable, unlikely allies. Maybe they're unlikable. I don't know. I didn't watch Demon Girl Next Door Season 1, so I don't expect to watch Season 2. That is a HiDive show. Yeah, HiDive, getting a bunch of shows. The Executioner in Her Way of Life is an interesting take on the isekai, because it follows this girl whose whole deal is she is someone that kills people who get summoned or from another world, because people that come from Japan wreak havoc and destruction because of all their abilities. So executioners find them and kill them before they can cause problems. But the girl that they find this time around is immortal. She just comes back to life. So then things get weird. And I'm interested. I don't know if it's going to be any good. That's another one that's on HiDive. So, God, I guess I'm fucking going to get HiDive because they have like just enough stuff I'm interested in. I honestly thought I was going to be down to one service, but HiDive is picking up some stuff that I want to see. Damn. I guess this merger has been good for them, but I'm going to have to get fucking HiDive because there's some stuff I want to see. The Greatest Demon Lord is Reborn as a Typical Nobody is a reincarnation story. It is Silver Link. They also did demon, regular magic. Not the regular magic. The Demon Lord one. Demon Academy. Basically, this dude, the Demon Lord, no one could defeat him, and so he's like, I guess I'll just be reincarnated. And so the thing I do enjoy about this, so he gets reincarnated, he limited his powers. He like made it so that when he got reincarnated, he wouldn't be super strong. But he didn't realize that in the future, everyone else would be weak. So he is still, even though he's not as strong as he used to be, he's still way stronger than they are. So he's still overpowered. And his main goal is that he wants to go on some adventures, and he ends up with some ladies, and it's totally fine. There's nothing great about this one, but it's totally watchable. Rising of the Shield Hero Season 2 was delayed. It was supposed to come out last year. It got delayed, I think, twice. I have a love-hate with Rising the Shield Hero. As it went on, I liked it more and more. I did not like it in the beginning. I will be watching this. I don't know if I'm watching... It's only going to be 13 episodes instead of 25 or 26. So that's pretty interesting that they're just going to do, a small chapters of stuff. And that's because they skipped some stuff towards the end of Season 2. So that'll be interesting to see. Pretty interested in that. But, I don't know if I'm going to be watching it weekly. I'll probably just watch it, whenever. Tomodachi Game or Friend Game. I believe that it is going to be, I believe it might be on Crunchyroll. No, I guess it is going to be Tomodachi Game. This is your hey, the way to win this game is to not doubt your friends. But if you're looking at these faces, you're going to be doubting them. It's a death game anime, and I'm not interested in death game animes. Apparently, a lot of people are, because this is apparently a very popular manga. that has sold over 2 million copies. So, you know, some people are fucking probably really psyched about this. But not me. I'm not one. Here is I believe the last isekai of our list. Trapped in a dating sim, the world of otome games is tough for mobs. So, I like this one because the main character is a dating game anime, dating sim, isekai anime. I like that premise. Also, our main dude is not handsome, which is a requirement to be popular or to get anything you want in this world. The fact that it's female focused or female led is not like it's not a man hater kind of situation. It's more that it's just a place where women are in power, which makes sense for a dating sim, an otome game. Like, that makes sense that would be the case. Also, there's mechs. So this is the show that I can watch where there are going to be mechs. So I'm probably going to watch that because there are mechs. Yu-Gi-Oh! And then real quick, because we're at 11 p.m., we'll look at some shorts here. I don't think any of these are going to come out over here. Oh, this might, because Crunchyroll has aired the other seasons of Yarogome-chan. And this is season 4. I stopped watching during season 2. It's totally fine. It's whatever. Nothing great about it. So not much there. And then Q is a double length, but I didn't watch it this previous season. Can't wait for more of I'm Kodama Kawashiri. Again, these are minute and a half opening and then a minute of actual episode. Totally worth it. Go watch the 9 that are already out. Yeah, I haven't watched that. And then there is some films for quintessential quintuplets. Some movies here. We'll quickly just Isekai Quartet. I don't really like Isekai Quartet. I think it's funny that they're getting a movie. I think that is a fun idea. They're getting that. We're getting a new Detective Conan movie. There is. This is a movie for Odd Taxi that kind of like just reconstructs, like it kind of basically tells the story of the show and then what happens after. So it's a continuation with, like, you know, retelling of the show. So totally worth it for fans of Odd Taxi. It's a compilation movie. Teasing Master has that. I don't know what this is, but I think that's cute. Cute dog. Let's see, any OVAs. Detective Conan Zero Tea Time, which is a spin-off manga. Kotaro Lives Alone, looks really cute. There's a 4-year-old that just lives alone. 10 episodes. Wait, did that come out? That already came out? Oh, that's on Netflix. You can just watch this. You can watch Kotaro Lives Alone on Netflix. That came out. Great. For some reason they counted it as this season. I don't know why. But, cool. That looks cute. Strike the Blood final. They're doing a 4-episode 5th season of Strike the Blood. Tiger and Bunny 2. I didn't see Tiger and Bunny, so I don't know. Hell yeah, Ultraman Season 2. Hell yeah, Ultraman. This new Ultraman's pretty good. Ya boy, Kongming. I don't know what that is, but it is named Ya boy. I like that. It's your boy. And then there's a new OVA, 2-episode OVA, that's coming out in April for the Moriarty thing, which you know if you want to watch that or not. And that is going to do it for this. We'll just say, Folks, if you're watching this on YouTube, leave a comment with shows that you're going to be checking out this season, stuff you watched last season, stuff you just can't agree with me about, or stuff that you know about. If you're like, oh, Pat, that one thing that you were like, that sounds interesting, I read the manga, and here's my thoughts. Love to hear that. Tell me what you're excited about in the comments. And thanks for watching this YouTube video. And I'll talk to you soon on the next Pat Baer's Anime Club.